Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thousands of memories are created and captured in each photo taken on your magical vacation. We proudly present Capturing Magic, where we help those moments live on forever.
Hey everyone, welcome to Capturing Magic, where we are using technology to create and capture magic memories. This is episode 34, recorded on Tuesday, April 30th, 2013. I'm Steph from CapturingMagic.me, and I am joined by my co-host, Brittney Leavitt, who can be found at BritishDesigns.com, where she creates digital scrapbook supplies. Hi, Britt.
Hello.
We also have joining us today for the first time, Sparkly Nicole, who can be found at sparklyeverafter.com. Hi, Nicole.
Hi, I'm so excited to be here.
We're excited to have you. I'm really excited to get to know you a little better, too, because I've followed you on Twitter and on Instagram for quite a while now and love watching everything that you're doing with your site and everything there. So I'm really excited to have you.
I'm excited to chat because we don't really know each other, so it'll be kind of fun, like getting to know each other through our chat today.
Through our little chat today about something that we both love, a common thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So let's let our listeners get to know you a little bit. You're actually an Orlando local, right?
Yeah, I'm from South Florida, and I went to school up here and then moved up here full time about a year and a half ago, and I just love it.
Yeah, and you're busy at the parks quite a bit.
Yeah,
I see on Instagram.
Yeah, I go to the parks a lot. This week I was there like maybe 5 days. I don't even know. I go a lot. I'm an entrepreneur, so I kind of have a free schedule and, work whenever I can and go to the parks when I can.
Which is the great thing about being an entrepreneur.
Mm-hmm.
So you have that flexibility. So, and you do a lot of iPhone photography.
Yeah, it's a really, really big hobby of mine. I mean, I kind of like almost think in terms of what am I going to take a picture of next? Like, not in a bad way, but sometimes, like, especially at the parks and stuff, sometimes I'll kind of plan what I'm doing around what kind of pictures I want to take because I enjoy taking and editing photos so much.
That's perfect. So. And you have a new venture that you've been working on, some ebooks. Do you want to share that with us?
Absolutely. I love photo apps like that I use with Instagram. Instagram is kind of like my home where I just house all of my photos and also the community that I love talking to people and, meeting people on there and sharing my love of Disney and other things and mostly Disney. But I started just getting and playing with tons of different apps, and I love sparkles and stuff. So I've started finding these sparkle apps and apps with bokeh and writing and collages and blending and filters and, anything you could possibly do like in Photoshop or in a more serious program. Like I've kind of taught myself to do on my phone, and I can really thank my boyfriend too, because he loves it. And one of my good friends, Susanna, they're also really into photo apps and editing and stuff. So we all kind of play and tell each other different apps. And I got a lot of people that started asking me on Instagram and Twitter and stuff like, oh, what app is that? And I mean, I don't want to sound mean, but it's never like an easy answer. I can never just say, oh, I used this, because I'll usually use like 5 apps per photo. And I just kind of, I like just whiz in and out. And, it may not even look like this amazing piece of art, but like, I just like to play and do like silly little things to make it how I want to see it. So I use a lot of apps all the time. And a couple of times I tried to explain it, and then I would just end up like writing it and rewriting it and like trying to, how do I get this across easily? You can't show them the screen, and it's never, it's just not an easy answer. So at this point I was like, well, maybe I'll do like some online classes or something. And I've been researching and trying a few things for a few months, and I think ebooks are going to be the best way to get that information across. Perfect. So I started a little newsletter and stuff that I'm going to put out first, and I'm really excited about it.
So if people want more information on that, they can go to your website, sparklynicole.com, and then sign up for your newsletter, it sounds like.
Yeah, actually, it's sparklyeverafter.com is the website. That's okay. Yes. That's fine. Someone told me to buy Sparkly Nicole, and I better go.
You better, before this show goes live, you need to grab that domain.
No, I really have to.
So sparklyeverafter.com, we can sign up for your newsletter, and that's where we'll be able to get more information.
I'm gonna have a specific newsletter just for information on photo editing classes. So that'll be up soon, but that'll be where to find it. Okay,
good. Perfect. I'm excited to get in there because that's one of the things that I've admired about your photos on Instagram is all the sparkles and the fun bokeh effects. And I want to know the name of that app. And so I was excited to hear that you're going to be, I've never asked you, just because I never have yet, but I'm excited to know that I'll be able to see some of the ins and outs and then be able to try it myself on my own photos. So,
yay!
Yeah, that's a lot of fun. You also have a photo challenge kind of a thing on Instagram, a daily photo a day.
Yeah. My friend Susanna that I was talking about, we do one together called Whimsical Disneygram. And it's just exactly what we like. Because we wanted to do a photo challenge, like a Disney one, and there are a lot of really cool ones out there, but there wasn't anything that was like exactly what we wanted to do. So we just decided to make one up together. And we try and keep the topics really broad. Like for May, a lot of the days are like elements. So there's like fire and water. And so really you could just do anything you want. I mean, but the fact of seeing how different people interpret those words and how they edit them and what they post is like so interesting. People are really, really creative, and we kind of started it. Susanna wrote on the first month sparkles, bokeh, and something oh my, and it was kind of like, and she said make it fun. So we wanted more than just like Splash Mountain, hey, here's a photo of Splash Mountain, and like that's it. We wanted people to like explore and like really try to do something different and push their creative boundaries and stuff.
Fun. Sounds like a lot of fun. I enjoy watching that one. One of these days, I think about jumping in all the time. I know myself well enough to know I wouldn't be able to do it every day.
Well, we're super, like, we love when people just come, even if you just come in for like a day and like do one. Yeah, just anything you want. There's no like, oh, I can't make it through because sometimes I'm late or I forget or
we don't get in trouble if we don't show up for class every day.
No points taken off.
Yeah, okay, perfect. All right, so our topic today is pretty much going to be iPhone photography, but before we jump into it, I also want to ask you, when you go to the parks, you're usually going to Disney World, but I know that you've also spent time in Disneyland as well, right?
Yes, I've been twice, and I love it so much.
Yeah, I'd seen in your Instagram that you'd been to Disneyland. So, and who are you usually going to the parks with when you go?
I usually go with my boyfriend, or my friend Susanna, or my friend John. Like I have a lot of friends around here that kind of are Disney crazy too and go all the time. So, or like meetups, like different podcasts or groups will have meetups and stuff. I go to that. And then like a lot of my Twitter friends will come down and be like, hey, we're going to be in the parks. You should stop by. So I'll just go meet Twitter friends that I know. Yeah.
Yeah. I think I saw a picture of you with Heather that's on our team too at Capturing Magic not too long ago.
Yeah. We talked about you.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Because we got into the scrapbooking topic.
Oh, okay.
And that was how I first heard about you.
Yeah. Okay. I hope it was all good.
Yeah.
Okay. So also I wanted to ask you guys, have you been able to catch, Britt, some of the announcements about all of the stuff going on this summer at the parks?
No.
And the kicking off of the 24-hour event at 3.
Oh, well, yeah, I did sort of hear about that, but go ahead and
I'm just because there are a few new kind of magic memory making opportunities that are popping up in some of the announcements that they had just this week, over the weekend. I don't even remember. It's all a blur to me because I'm at month end over at the Daily Digi. And so one day is just moving into the next right now.
Yeah.
And I can't even keep track of it. So were you at that press event, Nicole?
I wasn't at this one, but I was definitely glued to Twitter watching every announcement happen. So
okay, so I have a guess of what your favorite announcement might be, but go ahead and share what your favorite announcement is that they announced, the new events and stuff.
Oh, now I'm like, what does she think is my favorite?
Well, no, you don't need to worry about that. Just tell us what your favorite is.
I don't know. I mean, I guess I'm excited for the 24-hour day, but the parade too.
Yeah, I'm really excited about the parade. The new parade at Disney World.
Tell us about it. I don't know anything, so I'm like, I don't know anything. What's the parade?
And I don't even know how much I know. I probably should have pulled up a sheet if I was going to talk about this, but at someone's website or something. But it's a new parade that'll start in 2014. Is that right? Or is it starting this summer?
Yeah, spring of 2014,
okay.
I believe.
That's what I thought too. Go ahead.
And it's called Fantasy and something. Yeah, I don't have the name either.
Yeah. It looks really. They had like 3 different sketches of floats, and it looks kind of steampunkish to me.
Oh. And where is this parade going to be?
In Magic Kingdom.
Okay.
It'll be the day parade.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All new day parade. They need a new day parade. That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw somewhere it's been like 13 years.
Oh my.
Yeah.
It's time.
It is time. So that'll be exciting. There's also, they announced, I thought your most exciting thing that you would be most excited about would be the glass slipper.
Oh, yes. Yeah, I'm really excited about that. Did you want me to
go
share
ahead?
about
Yeah,
it?
because I am not a runner at all. I've shared on the podcast before. The only thing that could possibly get me running would maybe be Disney. I'm not sure this is the event because it's too much running. But
It's kind of a lot. Yeah, they have a new race that they're adding to the Princess Half weekend in February, and there will now be a race on Saturday that is a 10K. And if you run both of them, similar to the Goofy Challenge in Walt Disney World Marathon Weekend, if you run multiple races, you get the Goofy Challenge medal. They now have the Glass Slipper Challenge that you can do the 10K and the half marathon, running 19.3 miles total in 2 days, and you get a special medal for that.
the glass slipper medal, yeah. I want that medal. I don't want to run that much.
Oh, that's funny.
We'll run for Dole Whip, and that's about it. Yeah. So, and one of the other things that I saw that I think is exciting and would be exciting for most of our listeners is that in Disneyland, and I don't remember if it will be in Disney World as well, but they will have, I think it's starting May 24th, right after the 24-hour thing, the Monsters, Inc. characters in their dorm rooms in their college gear for photo ops.
Fun,
huh?
So fun.
Yeah.
Is that going to be up like where they did the Wreck-It Ralph stuff? Is that the same?
You know what? I don't know because it didn't say where it will be.
Fun.
I thought it was going to be in California Adventure actually, but
that would make more sense.
It would because they've got their ride there too.
Yeah.
So
the cute area. Well, fun.
Yeah, lots of fun announcements.
So what's the 24-hour thing?
Memorial Weekend, May 24th. They're going to have, let's see, California Adventure, Disneyland, and Magic Kingdom will all be open for 24 hours.
So kind of like on Leap Day or whatever they do.
Exactly like Leap Day. It's going to be crazy at Disneyland because also going on that weekend is a grad night.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
I don't want to be there.
No, I was going to say that doesn't even really sound that fun because it would be so crazy, especially over a holiday.
Holiday weekend?
Ooh, that's a perfect storm right there. Like I can't decide if that would be like the wildest, funnest thing ever or just like a nightmare.
Yeah, exactly right. It sounds scary to me, quite honestly. But
I will say my mom and my brothers did the Leap Day thing and had like the best time ever. Like
really?
So magical, so awesome. We actually were just leaving right before it, so we couldn't stay for it. And with Scarlett, it's like, how do you do that? I mean, it's not really possible with that for us.
That's not fair to her.
Well, no, and I don't know how we would have done it, but my mom and brothers did it, and they loved it. And it looked so fun, like all their pictures. I was a little jealous, but it wasn't a holiday, and there was no grad night, so I don't know.
Yeah. Are you going to that, Nicole, down in Disney World?
Yeah, I'm planning to go, and I'm already like, why am I doing this? I'm really excited for it because I just want to say, and I just, that I did it, and I want to have that experience. Yeah. For the Leap Day, we had bought tickets to Michael Jackson's Cirque du Soleil show. So when we got out, we went to Starbucks and got the train to drink, which is huge, and then went to Magic Kingdom at like 1 a.m. and stayed till like close to sunrise. Wow. So just being there, I mean, that alone was really cool because you never get to really go at, just go for the middle of the night if you want.
Yeah. Well, and to see the sunrise, that's something you don't get to do either.
Yes, that was really cool. I think it closed at 6. This time it closed at 6, so I want to say it was similar last time. And when we were driving home, it was like the sun was up, so it was cool.
That's neat. That's really neat. One other thing I wanted to mention that I just remembered that our listeners will be interested in is on, you know what? It'll be past by the time this show goes live because we go live a week later from recording. Yeah, so never mind. I was going to say May the 4th be with you in Disney World, where people can, adults can do the training camp with their kids.
Really?
Yes, Jedi Training Academy on May the 4th only. So if anyone participated in that, please come share photos. It would be fun to see.
Okay, my brother would die to do that. It's like it's always his thing. He's always like, if I could just be a little kid and do Jedi training.
You can do it for this one day only with your kids. Goodness. You need to email him and tell him you have to go.
I'll have to. That's so fun.
I know. But it's only in Disney World, too. They're not doing it. Well, because they have the Star Wars weekend down there. They don't do that.
Okay.
Yeah, Star Wars weekend, that same weekend. So
fun. Yeah. We're doing it. Well, it will have already happened, but we're doing like a marathon of movies with my brother and all the Star Wars movies on May the 4th. So
fun.
Yeah, starting in the morning with breakfast, going in as long as it takes us. So.
How fun.
Yeah, it's been in the work. We've been planning on it for a while, so it's exciting. We're excited.
There's some memory making going on right there.
Yep.
That's awesome. Okay, let's move into our discussion topic then. And I'm really excited to get some tips from Nicole. And I think that Brittney and I might have a couple or two up our sleeve as well that we can share with our listeners. So let's jump into it. Nicole,
I just wanted to know what kind of phone Nicole has.
Good idea. Really good idea.
Well, I have an iPhone 5.
Yay!
So it makes my life easier.
Yeah.
And I don't use like a fancy camera or anything. This is like my livelihood as far as photo taking goes. So,
and
it's your only camera.
I mean, I have like a little
in the parks.
Yeah, that's what I use. So
okay. So let me ask a question too. Then, are you mostly using the onboard camera that comes with your phone, or do you use other camera apps, or are you taking photos with the onboard camera and then editing them mostly?
I take photos with the camera and then edit in my phone, and I only edit in my phone. And then like I'll share it to Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, my blog, but that's like it. Like I upload them to my, or download, whatever you would call that, to my computer after, but that's really it. So pretty much all the magic I do in my phone.
Okay. And so you're mostly just downloading them to your computer to back up.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah. Makes sense. Okay. So share with us some of your tips. I can't wait to hear.
Okay. So, one thing that I've had a problem with over the past year or so at Disney is when I'm with a group of people and we want to take a picture in front of something, even if it's a PhotoPass person, and we say, hey, can you take our photo? So many times, I mean, the PhotoPass person, this is their job, and we get a blurry photo back. And I'm just, it blows my mind. Like, so one of my tips is choose wisely. And here's how to do so. When you're looking for someone to take your photo, because you don't want to waste your time, you just want to take your photo and move on. Look for someone who maybe looks like they may have an iPhone. A lot of people walk around with their phone in their hands. Yes. So as you're seeing mass amounts of people walk around and looking for someone to take your photo, the PhotoPass person is not always the best choice, you know? So also, if you see somebody with a big camera that they're wearing on, they're always a good choice. But yeah, just choose
Especially
wisely.
if it's a big lens.
Yes. The bigger the lens, the more you want to choose them to take your photo. So, also, I had a friend that, I have a friend that I met for the first time a few weeks ago, and a few of us were hanging out at downtown Disney, and it was a real fun time. And then at the end, we're like, oh, we got to take a photo of all of us together. So, of course, we're all like, yay, so excited to put it on Instagram and stuff. And because that's where we're all friends from. And my friend has the photo taken with his phone first, and he has the same phone as me. He just didn't have a case on it, and I do have a case on it. So I thought maybe this is what the problem was the case. But my photo, we looked at them next to each other, and his photo was like super clear. It looked awesome, and everyone's like, oh my goodness, your camera takes such great photos. That's the 5. I can't believe it. Like, and I was like, I have the 5 too. And I just took the same photo. Like, why did it look so different? Well, I'm a girl and I wear makeup and stuff. And for however my lens was smudgy, something was on it. And because I was getting ready to take it back to Apple and be like, hey, my friend has the same phone and his photo was awesome. And mine was like, it wasn't clear. The lights, like it wasn't focusing on the lights right. And the lighting was poor and it just was like blurry. And it wasn't like if you looked at the lens, you would see that it was like dirty. It just was like, you know, my phone's in my hand all day and I accidentally touch it sometimes, you know, and I'm wearing makeup. So maybe it got on my hands and got on the lens. I have no clue. So now that I know that that's what the problem was because I wiped it off and tried again, I now have this like nervous habit where I'm constantly, especially at the parks, just wiping the lens off because I'm like, I never know when I'm going to want to take a photo and I never want it to look like that again. So wipe your lens off.
Yes, that's a really good tip because when I was at an event, a month or so ago, and I handed my phone to someone to take a picture, and she took a picture. She's like, Steph, look at this picture. What do you have on your lens? And I'm like, I don't know. It never even occurred to me to wipe my lens off on my phone. Makeup, probably. That's exactly what I told her. Probably makeup. And so she wiped it off, took the picture again. Much, much better picture the second time around.
Good.
Yeah.
Such an easy fix.
I know,
and
but like I said, it never, ever occurred to me to wipe the lens off.
Me either until that happened and my friend said something. And it's like you have, you know, sunscreen on or lotion or just so many things little elements that could, you know, mess with your technology. So
yes, totally.
Easy to have.
Yeah.
So I wanted to remind people to keep your phone handy. I usually have mine in my back pocket, or I'll have a special pocket in my purse where it goes, or I just have it in my hand all the time. Because when things are happening, like especially at Disneyland, when Peter Pan runs by, or, you know, usually time is of the essence when you want to take pictures of things. So another thing about timing, my friend DVC Morgan on Twitter reminded me or told me a couple weeks ago that the photo is actually taken when you release your finger from the button, not when you touch the button on the iPhone 5. And I was like, oh my God. Like if you think about it, like you kind of already knew that because you know that when you touch the button, it's like takes a little half a second. But if you want to get that precise timing, like you just have to consciously think like, now when I'm aiming at something, I'll aim and have my finger on the button and then I just take it off when I wanted to take the photo.
Oh, so it's almost like back button focus on a DSLR. That's cool. That's really cool. One other thing too, along those lines of being fast is some people I've realized don't know that if your phone's in lock mode or your screen's off and you just hit the home button twice, it'll pull up the so you can touch the camera button and just go right into the camera. You don't have to touch everything. You can just
That's
be real
definitely a
quick.
good tip.
Yeah, and on the new iOS, you just have to push it once, and then you can slide your little camera button up, right, to open your camera.
You do only have to do it once.
Yeah, I remember
in
in the old iOS you had to do twice, and on the new one it's just the once because it's always there.
That's really cool. Go, Britt. Sorry, go ahead, Nicole.
I was over here just checking my phone like, she's right.
I know. It's the little things in life. I'm amazed. Yeah.
You only had to push it once.
You don't need to double push, double tap. Just once.
Yep.
Okay, go ahead, Nicole.
So I'm at the parks a lot, so I get to kind of practice these things, and especially now that I am planning to write some ebooks about how to, do certain tricks and take better photography at the park with your phones, I'm really consciously making an effort to kind of study this kind of thing. So, the things you want to take pictures of, maybe like characters running by, or the parades moving, or fireworks. It's a lot of moving objects, or even rides. Like if you're trying to take a picture of your family on a ride or whatever it may be, or you may be moving if you're in a ride vehicle, or you may have bright colors that you're not used to taking photos of, or the time of day can affect how it looks, the sun above, and then you have to tap a certain area of the screen to kind of focus on how you want the lighting to be. Mm-hmm. And if you come on, vacation once a year or so, you might not be used to all those things, and you might not be thinking of those kinds of things. So I have a tip to just practice at home. Like try taking pictures of things that are moving. And, if you want to get a better clear shot of the parade, or if you want to have, nicer photos actually like in the ride vehicles, or like, whatever it is you're trying to do, try and replicate that at home. And just, maybe it's only like a minute or two. You just practice like, wow, this thing is really, this toy, my kid's toy is really bright. I'm going to try and take a picture of that because I know that the Move It, Shake It, Celebrate It parade is so bright. And now I'll know like what this will look like on my phone and how I should, like what I should tap on to help the lighting. So if you can think of things in your everyday life that you can kind of practice taking photos of before you go, even if it's just like a shot or two, just to get comfortable with it. Just because all those things kind of matter when it comes to the time of day and if it's moving or not. So
that's a great tip because it's not like if you were taking like some new fancy camera that you wouldn't practice with it. Like, you would. You'd learn what you were doing and know really how to use it really well. But since it's a phone, we just sort of like, oh, well, we can just take good pictures with it. It'll happen. But you're way more likely to get better pictures if you actually are practicing or putting effort into it.
I totally agree. And especially for dark, because in the dark ride photos, stuff like that, there are ways that you can get great photos with your phone on dark rides, but putting it to practice ahead of time so that you know where to tap and you can be fast with it, because the time that you have to actually get that shot is super short.
Right. Exactly.
Good tip.
And ideally, you want to get the photo on the first try so that you're not staring at your screen the whole time trying, you don't want to spend your vacation trying to take the photo. You just want to take the photo and then have your vacation. So, since we were talking about focus and stuff, so tapping the screen on the thing that you want to focus on usually shifts the lighting. It'll go darker or lighter depending on what you tap on. And I try to focus on different things. So I like to get multiple things in shots. Like if I'm trying to take a picture of the parade and I can line up something on Main Street in the background, or if I can line up something in the background, and then I'll quickly just tap on different parts of the photo. I'll tap on a dark spot, I'll tap on a light spot just to see how it looks different. And then if you just use your photographic eye, you can usually see like, oh, this looks cool. So try different things. Don't just get excited because you see the Tinkerbell float coming and just, wait, photo. Like just, think about it. Like, think for a second and like, oh, this would look great if I lined this up with this. Because I love lining up things. And I know a lot of people try to do the cool like focus things where you have like something really close and you kind of blur it out and you know what it is, but then the focus is on something in the back. And there's so much at the parks that you can do that with. I mean, you can stand pretty much in any spot in any park and have tons of cool stuff around you to capture in the same picture.
Very true.
Mm-hmm.
There's lots of very cool scenery and things like that you can take pictures with, and then put some of your kids or the people that you love in there too.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
Well, I have, at the moment, I'm going to get the exact number for effect. Right now in my camera roll, I have 2,598 photos.
Nice.
So, and my computer's full and my phone is full. So I wanted to give this tip because it's something I'm trying to practice, and I think it will definitely help me out, and I think it could help you. If I go on vacation to Disneyland, I'm a little more careful about this because I don't have the opportunity to take photos there as often as I do here at Walt Disney World. But I like that I can take multiple photos really quickly, just like tapping the button. Because, if you have the 5, it goes so fast. Even the 4 would take quite a few photos in a row. And instead of just letting all of those photos sit in my phone, sometimes I try and go through, don't do it in the parks, but maybe when you get back to the hotel that night, or an awesome thing to do would be on the plane ride home or drive home to just go through and delete the ones that are totally blurry, or you literally have 3 of the same exact shot because you don't need them. And sometimes it can be so overwhelming to have so many photos, you don't go back and edit them, or you just miss those really good shots because you have so many photos and you don't know which ones to share. So if you can, try and make it about quality and not quantity, and it will definitely help your storage on your phone and your hard drive and everything else.
I am really bad at that, but I need to be better.
I know.
Because every time I take a picture of anything, even if I'm just at home taking a picture of Scarlett, I take 5. I never take just 1. So I'm always oh my gosh, I have so many pictures in here. I've got to get rid of some. That's one of my really big struggles.
Yes, mine too, deleting stuff.
Yep.
I'm not good at it. Also, that made me think, and I actually thought you were going to say it, but making sure before you leave, you clear out photos so that you have memory. I have been known to arrive at Disneyland, take a couple photos, and have it say, "You're out of memory." And I'm like, what? I have to go through and delete all my podcasts, and yeah. So
yeah.
That totally happened to me my first time at Disneyland. I was at the expo taking just hours of video because it was the princess's induction ceremony into being a Disney legend and stuff. So I couldn't let a second go unrecorded. So my phone was just so full, and I had to go back to the hotel and waste my time unloading it onto my computer. So nobody wants to do that.
No, not when you're at Disney. No.
Yep, clear your phone. Yeah. Seems simple, but obviously we've all forgotten to do it.
Yeah.
So it must not be that simple.
It must be a good tip.
It must be. Yeah, go ahead, Nicole.
So kind of talking about quality, when it comes to sharing, whether you use Instagram or Facebook or, Flickr, whatever your choice of sharing is, I'm going to kind of refer to Instagram because that's where I see this happen and that's where I try and focus on this. So I know when you're on vacation, when you're sharing those photos, you want to share, it seems like every moment so magical, I share a lot because I'm there a lot. So I I'm purposely sharing a lot, but I try and make sure that every photo that I share is good or something that I think that I'm going to want to see when I look back at my Instagram in a couple months, or, maybe the people that follow me, my friends and family, want to see. And again, just make it about quality. Sometimes I'll see really blurry photos, or I'll take blurry photos and man, I really want to share this, but it's blurry and it just doesn't look good. And this isn't how I want to remember that. So, maybe that blurry photo isn't the best to do, or the photo of that food that was so delicious, but in a photo, it looks atrocious. Sometimes you just got to spare the food photo, So making sure that each photo is really worth sharing, or that memory was really worth it.
That's awesome.
Instead of half-eaten whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. And then I wanted to bring up too that instead of sharing every photo from your character breakfast and having like 6 different photos, I love it when people make collages of things, like use, photo collage apps to just put all these little memories together into that, instead of like, here's my picture with Pooh, here's my picture with Tigger, and you're kind of like standing in the same position every time. Put it together and like put some words on it, and there's your Crystal Palace memory, and now it's preserved in this cool way, and that that's where you met all these characters, and it's more creative and more original than just sharing each character that you met each time.
So do you have some collage apps that you prefer that you can recommend for people?
Yes. I was going to recommend DipTic because that is the first one that I started using. It's DipTic. And it's a pretty fun one. It lets you do all those things like, put pictures side by side, or put them, like 4x or 3x3, or just all those different ways you can put photos together. My very, very favorite one that I'm like obsessed with right now, but I'm trying to get away from it because I've just been using it too much, is PicFrame. And it's PIC, frame, like one word. And I really like it, but I noticed today I was just looking up some other apps that I might want to like use in the ebooks. And I was like, wow, there's so many collage apps out there. And some of them do other things too. And I've been so stuck on PicFrame that I like haven't been exploring other things. So those are 2 really good ones, but then don't get too stuck on them. There's lots out there to explore.
I like PicFrame too. That's one I use.
Oh, it's just so user-friendly. And
yeah, it's so easy.
Yes. Oh my gosh. And then you can like change the color and yeah.
Yep.
So I have this fun tip that I kind of put my photography with my phone. Like this is like my mission statement for what I do. And of course, like everyone should have their own, do your own thing. But for mine, I say make it look how it feels, especially with Disney, because that's why I like to saturate my photos and put sparkles and put bokeh and do all those little silly, collages and fun stuff. Because when I'm walking down Main Street, it's really pretty and it's this big, awesome castle. Or if you're in Disneyland, it's this beautiful little pinky, as I call it.
I love that name.
Big awesome castle or
little
pinky. Hey, I like the cute little pinky. So
I think
my gosh.
cute.
That's my favorite. I like Little Pinky better than I like Cinderella Castle. But sometimes if you take a picture, you just can't, it doesn't come across like how awesome and magical and special it is. Like when I look at the castle, I think that it's like super blue and the sky is gorgeous and everything looks great. And then you take the picture and it's like, well, it looks cool in a picture. But if I use Snapseed, like I think I heard you talking about that on another podcast, and like bump the colors up or brighten it or, edit it to make it look how it feels to me, then the photo looks better. But then it's also like helping my memory because this is how it felt, and if I add a little sparkle here and I put a little hearts in the corner or whatever, you want to do, it just helps you to remember it like how it felt to you, as opposed to just like having the picture of how it looks through your camera.
I love that tip. And I think now that you say that, I'm like, yeah, that's why I like your stuff, is because that's exactly when I look at your pictures, that's what it reminds me of how I feel when I'm at Disney.
Yay! I'm so happy. Mission accomplished.
Yes, for sure.
I'm glad that you're a sparkle girl too.
Oh, yay. An honorary sparkle girl.
Yeah. I had some more apps that I wanted to share too. I was going to like save them to the end because that's like always a question that people ask me is like, what app is that? And I'm always like, but I wanted to share some, like sometimes I don't like to share them too because I'll do something in an app and it's like some weird little trick that you wouldn't even think that app would do. And then I hate to share it and then the person can't figure it out. And like they either like don't say anything and then they never get to do it, or they like come back and want a full explanation. And I'm like, I'm sorry, it's so complicated. But these ones are pretty easy. They're fun, and they're like a good start. And then a tip for apps is combine what you can do with different apps. Like, I like to get Snapseed. I know you can do everything in Snapseed. You can do tilt shift, you can do a center focus, you can crop it, you can edit the colors. I think they maybe have filters too. I don't know. Tons of stuff you can do in there.
Yeah.
But
there's filters in Snapseed. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I thought so. I mean, it's like a mega app. I love it.
Yeah.
But my favorite thing to do in there is just use it for like saturating photos and change, like editing the colors, using the brightness and the ambiance is one of the phrases. And anything in the tools icon in Snapseed is like what I like to use that for. So get comfortable with apps and like find what trick you really like about it. And that's easy to navigate for you. And then you can combine it with other apps if you're trying to do, like multiple cool things on your photo.
Yeah.
So
I use Snapseed to straighten my photos a lot because it's super easy and I can just do it real quick in Snapseed. It's like one of the things I always open Snapseed to do.
That's a great idea, Britt.
Because if I go to post a picture of like the castle and it's not perfectly straight, it drives me crazy.
Yeah.
Unless it's like purposely tilted, like, a lot to like look
An
cool. But like
angle or something.
yeah. But if it's just like a little, I'm like, oh, I can't post that. I have to go into Snapseed and straighten it up.
I totally get it.
Instagram needs to start letting you do that in Instagram. That would be so nice.
Yes.
Yes. I was going to ask you, Britt, do you have a method to keep track of what you do in the app so that you can reduplicate it later?
No. I'm not that smart.
What about you, Nicole?
No, I just like play with them a lot. So I kind of just remember each one because I just use each one for like one trick or so. I kind of just associate doing that trick with that app.
Okay,
yeah.
That makes sense. Okay, go ahead with your. Sorry.
Oh,
I cut you off.
Oh no, it's okay. So DipTic, Snapseed, and ABC camera is now. Before you go into it, it's not the prettiest one. Like the user face isn't that fun. It's actually kind of like the pixels aren't high enough on the photo, so it looks kind of blurry. But so it's not the prettiest interface, but it does a couple cool things. And I personally, everyone has a different preference, but I like to find apps like this that's like, for example, this does, if you go to write in text, I just found this today and I was so excited to share it. It has like some different texts. So if I want to write on something in, like I might have this app just to have one different text on my phone. Because like I'm crazy and I have 70 photo apps on my phone. Like I know not everybody is going to do that, but maybe this has one font that I was looking for. And it also has a thing where you can, instead of just choosing one color for the font, you can choose 6 different colors. So it looks like a gradient effect on the.
Cool.
It was super cute. And like, it's not, the prettiest looking app, but just to be able to do that one thing and then you like drag your finger across and it writes it over and over again. Like, what a cool thing to do, maybe just for one photo. Like, it's not something you'd use every time, but just to do something different.
Yeah.
That would be it.
Yeah.
So ABC camera is one that I found today. And then I wanted to share this with you guys because I'm so excited about it. And do you guys like Star Wars?
Yeah.
I'm not a huge fan. I'm not like Britt. I think Britt's a bigger fan than me. I love it. I don't know all of the characters or all of that stuff, so I'm not a huge fan. But I can't. If it's the one that I saw you using on Instagram this weekend, I can't wait to hear. Because I went looking for something that would do that.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to share it. Okay, so I don't even remember how it started or what the first one was. Like, I wish I could remember, but it was like the past week or so. I remember. My boyfriend was playing on the Wii, and he was playing the Star Wars the Kinect game, the one that you like, move around and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And he's standing there, like having a lightsaber battle with just his hand, like at the TV. And I'm like standing behind him, like he totally needs to have a lightsaber in his hand right now. So I just took a picture of him, and then there are a couple different apps that kind of have they're not really like filters. They're just kind of like little overlays that look like a beam of light. And in the app LensLight, which is one word, LensLight, they have one that's, I think it's called Saber. So I took a photo and I doctored it up and I put a little, lightsaber like in his hand. And then I went into Space Paint, which is like one of my go-to favorite apps, like ever. I live and die by that app because it has a bunch of sparkles and stars and stuff. But it also has these color like filter overlays, and I put it over the lightsaber. So like this is like multiple steps, like I did the first step of the lightsaber, saved it to my phone, went into this other app, opened it. And once you play with apps a lot, if you play with it a few minutes, you get used to it and it's easy to do. So then I just went in there, put a color filter over it to make it blue, because I was like, Jim, if you had a lightsaber, what color would it be? And he said blue. So I just put it on there, and then there's like a thing where you can erase. So then I erased everywhere but the lightsaber, and I just, put it up on Instagram, and I was like, babe, why don't you check Instagram? And I was so excited. He loved it.
I saw that and I was like, oh my gosh, it looks like a real lightsaber. I can't believe it.
Awesome.
So
I've been
cool.
trying to catch people onto it. I put the hashtag Sabering on Instagram, and a couple of my friends are like, whoa, how'd you do that? And, it's kind of like a process to explain. Like if somebody asked me on Twitter, how do you write that back in like 140 characters? Like it's so hard. So a couple of my friends that I've seen and stuff, I like showed them how to do it, and they've started doing it. And like, so if anybody wants to join in, hashtag Sabering, it's the funnest thing. And my friend did one of Dick Van Dyke at the Tam O'Shanter. Like he has his hand like down, like he was saying something, but it's just, you just put a lightsaber in anyone's hand and it's automatically hilarious.
That's so cool. Now tell us again the 3 apps so that if people want to join in, they can.
Okay, it's actually only 2. The
2, okay.
lightsaber one is LensLight.
LensLight, that's one I couldn't remember.
And there's like a saber in there. And then Space Paint is the one that I use the colors for.
Okay.
So, and I think Space Paint actually has like a saber thing too, like saber type thing, but for some reason the LensLight one looked more like it to me, so.
Yeah, it looks really good.
Thanks.
So fun.
Yeah, some people have started to kind of catch on, and it's so fun watching people do it. I love it.
Now I want to try it. And that's going to be perfect for my Star Wars week, or our May the 4th day or whatever.
Yeah. Were you saying your brother loves Star Wars?
Yes. My brother, all my brothers do. And so we're having our marathon at my brother's house that has the home theater. So as I'm sitting watching hours and hours of movies, I'll have to be busy sabering.
There you go. Yes. You're going to have to do a group shot of all of you and saber everybody.
Okay, I'll try. And we'll see if it turns out as good as Nicole's.
So fun. I can't wait to see. Yeah. Super fun.
We'll put that picture. I was looking at it on your Instagram. We'll put it in our show notes so people can see what we're talking about.
Perfect.
Yay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I had one last app that I wanted to share that I used to use a long time ago, and I was looking through apps to share today, and I was like, this is such a fun one. I never really use it anymore. It's called Phoster, and I think it's supposed to be like font poster, but it's spelled Phoster. And you basically, it just has all these different ways for you to make a poster with like, just to put text on, or like to have a background and stuff for your photos. So it has all these cool things that are kind of like pre-made looking things, but you can edit them a little bit. So it's more like pre-made cool text things and color backgrounds and stuff. So you're basically like making a poster, and they're rectangular. So if you want to use them on Instagram, you just got to keep that in mind and
as you're
have
creating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Great. Yeah. So fun. Britt, did you have other tips that you wanted to share too today?
I did, but I think Nicole covered like everything I could think of.
You've done such an awesome job, Nicole.
Yeah. Plus like way more things I never thought of. So
I know.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's
smiling so big right now.
The one thing that's so great about phone photography is that there's just so much. And everybody has their few things that they love and that they do really well. And so I think this is an episode, this topic can be discussed over and over and over again.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. What were you going to say, Britt?
I was just going to ask, I had a couple questions for Nicole. So how long do you spend editing park photos? And do you mostly, when you edit them, do you share them while you're in park or do you wait till you get home?
Well,
that's always my struggle is like I always end up doing like a flood when I get back to the hotel because I'm so busy in the park that I do some while I'm there. But a lot of times I have to like wait till I get home.
Honestly, good for you. Because that was one of the things that I wanted to bring up that I forgot was it's so important not to be stuck in your phone, like in the park.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'll go to the park to watch a couple shows of something and take photos. Like that's my purpose of going, like, because it's a fun hobby for me and I'm able to do that. So I will always post live. Like my Instagram is pretty much always live unless it's like a photo challenge picture that I'm like just putting up that day. Mm-hmm. But so I do it right then. Like I edit everything right then and do it right then. And so I do it live. But if you don't get to go all the time, or if you're with your family or, just not everybody has that awesome opportunity to do it and still get the best experience they can. Like the focus obviously is making the memories and that you can capture,
Yeah.
So I think that's a good idea that you wait.
Yeah. Okay. I don't think that it's bad to wait and flood later. I love seeing any Disney Instagram photos and I'm okay with people posting a whole bunch. I might not want to see 20 of you with the same character, but I would be okay with you posting 20 of different things that you did during the day at the same time. I wouldn't care. I wouldn't be like, oh my gosh, she's flooding me. I would be excited about it.
Yeah.
I like to do live stuff because I love seeing people's live tweets or live Instagrams. So like I try and do some of that just because I like it, but I also do sort of feel bad when I get back to my room at night and I'm like, hey, here's my flood of pictures. But
well, it sounds like you have a good balance. I mean, I like the live is fun too. Yeah.
Yeah. The live is a lot of fun, but it is hard to keep that balance. And I'm thinking about, Nicole, all of these fun filters and things that you're using, but you're there a lot and you get to practice it a lot. And so I think that's something if you want to be able to live post, Instagram, tweet all of these photos and have the fun effects and filters, definitely you probably want to put some time in practicing before you head to the parks so that you can do it quickly while you're at the parks and you're not telling your family, hold on, I'll catch up to you while I'm editing this photo,
Yeah,
you don't,
exactly.
Or like just have your face in your phone. That's that's the challenge that all of us face, I think now, like, is just getting our faces out of our phones. And of all places you don't want your face in your phone is at Disney. So
totally agree.
Yeah,
I'm working on it myself.
I know. And
I know.
It is. We all are. It's something that you have to have a balance with. And, but we do use our phone for everything. And so I might be checking wait times. I might be checking schedules for shows or parades or, it's hard to know what everybody's doing on their phone. And I think it's easy to assume that they're just social media-ing.
Social media-ing.
Yeah, however you would. Social media-ing when we're at the parks. But yeah, it's really hard to strike a balance and make sure that things are covered. I love seeing people's, live Instagram stuff and tweets from the parks. I love it. But
it's much easier to do when you don't have kids with you, for sure.
Yes, for sure.
Because you have to have your eye on those kids.
Thank you. Because sometimes I'm at Hollywood Studios and kids are just running around and I'm like, where's your mom?
Yeah.
Thank you for having an eye.
She has her nose in her phone right now.
I know, like she's Instagramming. Of course.
totally. And even, when my husband and I went, just the two of us, to Disneyland a couple of weeks ago, even then I felt like I needed to be careful because we don't have those opportunities a lot where it's just the two of us. In fact, that was our first trip ever to a Disney anything, just the two of us.
It was? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
How was it? Did you love that? Or
it was
were
fun.
You missing?
We had a lot of fun. No, I didn't. I've been enough without my kids that's not an issue.
Okay.
That's missing the kids at Disney is not an issue for me. No, not. I mean, I have heard people be like, "Why would you go to Disney without kids?" But that's not an issue for me at all.
I know, right? I'm like, you've never been without kids. I think that's what.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah. At that point, I just don't think they're gonna get it, and I usually am just like, I enjoy it,
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
It's not worth the debate.
No. It's not worth trying to explain it to people that aren't going to get it. So, did you have anything else, Nicole, that you wanted to cover?
I think that's about all I've got.
Okay, that's great. Lots of super information, and I can't wait for your ebooks to come out.
Yay. Maybe just one last thing.
Yeah.
I just discovered this this year, and I mean, I don't know if you guys, feel this way, but I know they're kind of expensive, but the character meals are sometimes a really awesome way to kind of get two birds in with one stone and get those pictures with characters. Like if you really, have to meet the characters, that's your thing.
Yes.
Do it while you're sitting and eating, and then you don't have to worry about waiting in that line, or you can use that time for something else. So.
Yeah, when we went to Disney World in December, we had 3 different character meals scheduled, and that was the first time we had ever done that many. And I really learned that well, and I thought that is the best way to get characters in, is just because you can knock out 5 or 6 characters in an hour, and you're eating, and it's all productive time. They're great. Totally agree with that tip.
We accidentally went to 2 character meals this year. My friend, I was telling him this the other day, and he's like, how do you accidentally go to a character meal? And we strolled into Epcot one night because there was, we wanted to get something to eat, and it was just late, and we were like, well, where do we go? We wanted to eat something good. We didn't want to get quick service. So we ended up just going to the Garden Grill, and they have the characters there, and I was never really into that. I'm not really, if I see a character, I'm like, oh, yay, and I snap a quick picture, but I don't like to really wait in line for them and stuff. So just accidentally having them come up to me was like, this is awesome. I actually like this.
You might be doing more characters, right?
Totally.
Yeah, it's fun. Okay, let's move into our picks with Pixie Dust then. Britt, do you have a pick for us?
I do, and I had one planned, but now I'm switching because of our topic. It has reminded me of something I haven't shared on the show before. So it's just another photography app, and like Nicole said, there's so many out there, but for me, hearing someone's actually used it and likes it, it makes me want to pay my 99 cents for it. So I think that's how much it is. It's called AfterLight. It used to be called Afterglow, but I can't remember why it changed. It changed on one of the updates. And it's one of those apps that's just really beautiful, great user interface, so easy to look at, so easy to use. And it does lots of cool things, all kinds of editing, just sort of like Snapseed, where you can, change your saturation and brightness and all of that good stuff. But then also, the reason that I got it is because a friend of mine was posting these cute pictures on Instagram in a circle, a circle frame. And I was like, okay, I want to put a circle around my pictures. That's so cute. So this is the app that she used, and so that's when I use it too. And it's just cute to put a little circle. I don't know if you're picturing a circle frame like I'm explaining it probably wrong, but it's just like a white, it's like your picture's a circle and it has a white background. Anyway, so it's good. It does really good editing. It's just, sliders, so it's really easy to use. And then there are some little some filters on it. I haven't used those a lot, but they're pretty cool. And it also does textures, which basically are kind of vintage film textures, where it kind of gives it a little bit of a blur or a light thing. Anyway, it's really cool. It's really fun to play with. If you just have if you're just looking to play with pictures and add things here and there, it's a good one. So it's called AfterLight. It might be called Afterglow in the App Store. I don't know. I'll look it up.
I'm currently downloading it, and it's called AfterLight.
It's a good one. You'll like it. So.
There you go. Nicole, you might know this because I've been thinking I wish there was an app that did this, and maybe there is, but I'm just not aware of it. Because on Pinterest, there's been a pin going around with Mickey Mouse shaped bokeh.
What?
I would love an app where you could make your own bokeh shape and then be able to apply that shape. Because if you could just make your own Mickey Mouse shape and then apply that bokeh,
that'd be cool.
Let me look at this one app real quick.
Yeah, see, I knew if anyone had the answer, it would be Nicole.
I don't know of one that has like that shape already, and
I doubt they'd be able to sell it with that shape in it already. But if you could create your own shape within the app,
yeah.
And
if
then
you
have it
try
apply the bokeh.
Bokeh Booth, that has a bunch of different shapes in it. But I don't know if you'll be able to make Mickeys because I don't think you can change the size of the circles.
Yeah.
You can't put in your own shape. It's just what the shapes that they have.
That's what it is.
Like, well, they have like circles and raindrops and stuff, but so I was thinking like, put a circle and then 2 smaller circles. Mm-hmm. But if you can't change I'll have to get back to you on that because now I'm determined.
If there is not, in a week from now, I'm going to have an app out that'll do that.
I know. I'm like, it's not
my idea.
It's Capturing Magic's new app. Mickey Bokeh.
Yeah, funny. Okay, Nicole, do you have a pick?
Yeah, I do. And I'm going to ask the lawn man if he has one in a second because he's apparently right at my door.
Right outside your window right now.
While we were talking about taking photos and, apps and tips and all this stuff, and obviously you're going to be using up a lot of that battery. So a couple years ago, I was brought into the world of external chargers. And I have a Zagg, it's Zagg, and it's supposed to hold 4 charges, but it actually holds about 3, maybe 3.5 on a good day. And you can charge 2 things at a time, and your any USB thing can go into it. And you just charge it overnight. It takes like a few hours to charge, and then I carry mine in my purse with me, and it will charge it like from 0 to 100 like 3 times.
Nice.
So
awesome.
I couldn't travel without having this or, just having my phone because just when it comes to directions, being able to be in touch, texting, trying to find out where your family is in the park or making plans for dinner or whatever you're doing when you're on vacation. And obviously when you're taking photos and stuff, that phone battery is really important. So this is a good one, but there's also like a Nutrient is one. And if you go on Amazon and just type in like, I don't know what you'd call it, I guess external phone charger or
external battery.
External battery?
Yeah.
Portable charger.
Yeah.
That's it. Portable charger is what you should search if you wanted something like this.
I hadn't heard of the Zagg ones before. I know that, didn't you get yours on Amazon? Steph?
I did, and
it's like a no-name one.
No, yours was a no-name one.
Okay. Mine has like no brand on it. It's weird.
And your husband had said that Nutrient was a good brand, and so that's why I went with Nutrient. And I've been able to recharge between me and my husband. We did 6 full recharges.
Wow.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah, I would never go. What was that?
Send me a link to yours too, and we'll link up to both yours and Nicole's.
Yeah. Mine was kind of expensive, I remember, but like $50.
If you can charge
60. Yeah,
6
that's the
times,
thing. Yeah.
That's big.
I don't know how people go to the parks without an additional battery source, charging source.
Yeah.
That's my number 1 tip. You have to have an extra charging source. I totally agree.
The first time I met Steph, her phone was sitting on a table hooked up to it.
It was at Chili's.
Yep.
Charging.
And everyone's like, what's that?
Yeah. Yeah. That is me.
Yep. Cool.
Yeah. Okay, so my pick is, I'm going to find it really quick and then I'm going to share it. So this website called, it's a really cool website that turns maps into different looking things. So watercolors and toner, looks like a toner print, stuff like that. So you just type in the location that you want, and I typed in Disneyland, California, and it just turned that part of the map so it looks like it was painted with watercolor.
What?
Yeah, super fun, huh? And you
Very
can download
cool.
it. So
It's an app? Did you say it's an app?
No, it's a website. It's maps.
Oh, website.
Maps.stamen.com. Stamen is Stamen.
How fun.
I know.
And is it high enough resolution that you can like print them? Or
I downloaded it when I first found this website. I downloaded it and I was like, yeah, you could totally use that for scrapbooking if you wanted to. That would be high resolution. But I don't remember what it was. I just remember thinking, yeah, you could do that.
How cool.
I don't know if I clicked a button to download it or if I just did a right click and save. Yeah, I did a save image as.
Okay.
And then that, it works.
Ooh, the watercolor's pretty.
Isn't it pretty?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would make really cool project light
Background.
cards.
Yeah. I mean, lots of things that you could use it for. So.
Yeah. Neat.
And stuff. Yeah. So that's
Good find.
Thank you. My pick. Okay, so let's go around and remind us where we can find you. Again, remind our listeners where they can find you. And this show will release a week from today, actually. So
Okay.
keep that in mind. Britt?
As always, I'm at BritishDesigns.com, and that's British with 2 T's. That's where you'll find my digital scrapbooking shop, my gallery, blog, all that good stuff. When this airs, we'll just be on the down, like coming down from
On a hangover.
Yeah, we'll be on National Scrapbooking Day hangover, which usually means I'm MIA for like 3 or 4 days. No, but it's, yeah, that's where I'm at. So.
Perfect. Okay, Nicole.
You can find me at sparklyeverafter.com, my blog, and I'm on Twitter and Instagram as Sparkly Nicole, and YouTube as, you know what, just find my YouTube off my blog because my last name's Italian and complicated.
And I was looking at your blog and you just posted some new cruise videos too on YouTube, I saw.
Yeah.
Well, not too long ago.
Yeah, I went on the Dream last 2011 and 2012, and I made videos both times, and it's just so much fun. I love those because that is something that I don't get to do all the time. So
Yeah.
I really try and capture those memories in a way that I can really remember it. So, and I don't want to be braggy, but I just want to share it because I'm really excited about it. The first video I made, I have no idea why, and I wish I could like replicate this again, but it's coming up on like 100,000 views, which I'm like blown away. I think it has like 93 right now, maybe. And I'm like, okay, guys. And it's like a shaky camera. It's not even that good. I think it's just because it was when the Dream Cruise first came out, you know, and people wanted to see what it looked like. And I found my video, so...
Nice.
I was like, well, I got to do that again if people want to see that, because I thought it was really just going to be for me and my people in the video to watch. But
that's cool. So, congratulations.
Yeah.
You're famous on YouTube.
Oh, gosh. No. Well, thanks a lot. That's
awesome.
Fun. Yeah, that's exciting. So you did something that was unique to you, and you also documented it in a way that was different for you because you did video.
Yeah, I love videos. It's like newer for me, but super fun. Love it.
Well, Steph and I always need video tips, so maybe we'll have you come back and do a video show.
That's exactly what I was thinking too, Britt.
Because we are both like video dummies.
We are. I just go in. I mean, it's so funny because I'm in the park shooting video, and then all of a sudden my phone will go automatically stopped. And I'm like, but why? Why did you automatically stop? I didn't want you to. My DSLR will do the same thing. And it's just like, what setting did I put wrong on both of them to make them automatically stop after a certain time? I don't know.
Yes. Next time, video.
Yes.
I'm totally down. Okay. I've been putting a lot of time into learning video stuff. So
Good.
Good. We'll have you back to share your wisdom.
Seriously.
Okay, I am Steph, and you can find me at capturingmagic.me. You can also find me at thedailydigi.com, where you can find the best deal in digital scrapbooking, and you can get over $50 worth of digital scrapbook supplies for $7.50 or less every month. And let's see, I will be coming down off Digital Scrapbook Day as well next week. But we will have just... What was that?
I said it's a thing. You have to come down from it.
You do. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. So we will have just released a new issue of the DigiFiles, though, the May issue, so you'll want to check that out. And I want to remind our listeners also about the Capturing Magic iPhone apps for Disneyland and Disney World that will help you capture all of your magic memories so that you don't forget anything, because as everyone knows that's been to the parks before, it can get crazy, and sometimes you can forget even like the top of your list photo that you knew you had to take. Mm-hmm. And so that's what these apps are designed to do, is so to help you remember them all. And we should be hopefully submitting an update here in a couple of weeks, just in time for summer season. So that's exciting. Summer vacations.
And in the update, it's going to have Mickey Boca, right? So when you take your pictures in the app.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm going to have Mickey Boca in there, but maybe if we could make it so people could make their own Mickey Boca.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll ask my guy. He'll be like,
no.
Sure. Not for this release. That's what he'll say. Not for this release.
Hey, all you need is a couple different sized circles.
That's it. What's the big deal? I don't see the problem.
We could put it together.
That's what I always say to him. I don't see the problem. But yeah. Oh well. Okay, so yeah, that's it. That's all my stuff, I think. Be sure to check us out at capturingmagic.me and click on the podcast. We would love to hear from you in the notes of the show. And also, if you want to send us a note, please email us at mail@capturingmagic.me, and then it automatically goes to both Britt and I. If you use the contact form on the site, which is totally fine to do, it only goes to me. So if you want both Britt and I to see it automatically, and you don't have to wait for me to forward it, then you want to just email us at mail@capturingmagic.me. So I think that's about it. Thank you, everyone that listens to the show. We appreciate it. It's growing super fast. The numbers keep growing really fast, and so we appreciate you telling people that you know are Disney fans, sharing it with them. We appreciate it. Yeah. Did I get it all, Britt?
I think so.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank you, Nicole. We appreciate it. It's been a
really
super fun
thank
show.
You.
And we'll do it again for sure. Thank you, everyone. And we will be back here next time where we will be capturing magic.